Idiot cop getting his COVID shot.
The other week we had a guy come in for his COVID shot. This is in Australia BTW, straight up off the bat he was already complaining because he would lose his job without getting vaccinated. Refusing to consent to the vaccine, eventually signed the consent form. Right before our pharmacist administered it, he asked if we could just throw it in the bin. Obviously that was a no. As a police officer, surely he would know that's not legal. He then proceeded to rip off his band-aid straight after the shot and try squeezing it out of his arm. LOL. Truly baffling. His GF was with him and looked so done listening to him whine and complain.
Quit my job.
I've been a tech for 5 years. I'm amazing at my job, I'm fast, I know my stuff, and I know the ins and outs of the pharmacy. I can do it all. But I just can't do it anymore. We're so understaffed. COVID tests, COVID vaccines, flu shots, filling regular prescriptions, dealing with all the customers. I can't do it. It isn't worth it. I don't get paid to deal with adult babies who don't care about themselves enough to even know the names of their medications. We're so understaffed. And someday it will kill someone because someone will try to go fast and make a big mistake. I can't do anything about it either. I have to say you have to wait for the pharmacist for pretty much everything, but the pharmacist is doing 1,000 other things and I'm the only tech there running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I can't do drop-off, pick-up, vaccine forms, testing forms, filling, inventory, pharmacy order and everything else by myself. It isn't fair. And it won't get better. And everyone is so fucking rude. Like, I know it's annoying to wait for 30 minutes for your prescription, but I'm the only person working. I run around like a maniac in the pharmacy, and with everyone waiting for the pharmacist I feel like an animal in a cage and everyone is watching. So I sent in my 2 weeks the other day. I will miss my job because I used to enjoy it. But it is not worth the stress anymore. It shouldn't be my responsibility. I'm lucky because I'm just a student who just wants some pocket money, but I know others in my position don't have a choice. I keep seeing horror stories of pharmacy slip-ups, but when will people recognize this as a pattern, not just isolated incidents? I just hope it gets better for everyone's sake. We gotta demand change for all of us.
Customer wants to sue us because she screwed up and we can't read minds.
We have a sick kid with all kinds of health problems, physical and psychological, so he's on a lot of meds. His parent/guardian is an absolute Karen, so that's what I'll call her. She pulls the "I have a disabled child" card at every opportunity she can and uses that excuse to be super rude. She actively looked for problems before this incident, but now I'm pretty sure she's actually trying to bait us into doing or saying something where she can sue us. Kid is taking clonazepam for his anxiety and clobazam for his seizures. I'm sure you can guess exactly where this is headed. Kid ran out of clobazam, so Karen called the doctor to request a refill. She has an accent and had a stuffy nose when she called the doctor. Karen swears that she called in his clobazam, but the doctor sent clonazepam because that's what he heard. Doctor checked the kid's profile and saw that he was taking clonazepam, so that's obviously what he sent. It was too early to fill the clonazepam, so we just put the script on hold. Karen calls and demands to know what is going on with the kid's medication, so we told her that it was too early to fill and that she needed to wait for 2 more days before we could fill it. She tells us he ran out of his pills 3 days ago and that he needs it now. We tell her that we can't fill the clonazepam because it's a controlled substance and it's too early, and of course the doctor called it in and why can't we do our jobs and blah blah blah. Karen does not get the kid's medicine that night. At this point, the kid has been without clobazam for 3 days. Guess who had a seizure and had to go to the hospital? And guess who called us first thing in the morning and immediately demanded, "Where's your manager?" Like, I just said hello on the phone and asked how I could help her, and immediately it's "Where's your manager?" Apparently in Karen world, all pharmacists are managers. We had a different pharmacist that day who had to hear about how we allegedly refused to fill his seizure medication and he ended up in the hospital and she's going to sue us blah blah blah. That pharmacist looked at the kid's profile and saw the script for clonazepam, but she scrolled down further and saw the old script for clobazam without any refills. She asked Karen which medicine, she told the doctor to call in. Karen said, well, you should have known which medicine my kid needed because he was already out for 3 days and we just should have filled the one he needed. Pharmacist called the doctor and the doctor said Karen absolutely called in clonazepam last night and not his clobazam, and since the doctor saw clonazepam on his profile, he sent the script for clonazepam. Pharmacist called Karen back and told her that the doctor heard her request for clonazepam and sent over the one she asked for. Well, we should have known which one he was out of the 3 days and needed a refill for, and it's our pharmacy's fault the kid was admitted to the hospital. She didn't blame the doctor for sending in the clonazepam script. She blamed the pharmacy for filling the clonazepam script instead of magically knowing it was supposed to be clobazam. The whole fiasco is Karen's fault for waiting until the kid was without his XD seizure medicine for 3 days and then requesting the wrong medication when she called the doctor. She keeps calling and trying to make us apologize for sending her kid to the hospital. We tell her that we feel sorry that it happened to her kid, but we don't say we're sorry for what happened. She keeps calling back trying to get an apology, so I think she's trying to get a cashier or new tech to say I'm sorry for what happened so she can sue us. I'm sorry for the rant. I just needed to get it off my chest and maybe commiserate with some pharmacy worker who has been through similar bullcrap. TLDR, Karen waits to get her kid's seizure medicine until he has been out for 3 days, requests the wrong medicine from the doctor, and is now trying to sue us because he had a seizure and wound up in the hospital even though this entire incident is her fault.
I'm calling in a prescription.
So a patient called today asking if his mother's prescriptions can be filled at our pharmacy even though they're normally filled at a different location, but by the same company. I pull up her profile, make sure we're allowed to discuss her medications with him, and then ask which prescriptions he wants filled at our location. He starts listing them. First one is Hydra. Hydrocort something? I type in the first couple letters and the only thing that pops up is an expired prescription for hydrocodone/acetaminophen. I mention this to him and he goes no, the doctor just wrote a new prescription for it. So I inform him that it hasn't gotten into our system yet, or that the doctor is waiting until the end of the day to send it over, as some offices prefer to do. He then says the doctor gave me a physical prescription, I'm trying to read it to you. I confirm what I just heard. And then inform him that no, he cannot read a physical copy of a prescription over the phone and expect us to fill it. And this super smart cookie goes, are you sure I can't just give it to you over the phone? I want it to be ready when I come to pick it up. No, sir, that's against the federal law. Are you sure? It would make things a lot easier for me. Yes, I'm very sure that's against the law. You would need to bring in the physical prescriptions for us to fill them. Dude gets all upset with me, says okay whatever thanks and hangs up. Oh well. Why do people think the law is just a suggestion?
An apology to whatever tech had to service my mom at the pharmacy.
Hi everyone, I lurk here because I work for a home delivery pharmacy, but I'm not a tech or a pharmacist myself. But I have a story I thought might be amusing to some of you, but it wasn't so amusing to the tech this happened to. So my mom went to the pharmacy to get a refill of her metoprolol and handed the tech an empty bottle. The tech told her, I'm sorry, this is out of refills. Please talk to your doctor. So my mom got upset and said, but I need this to live. Please send the request for me. Which resulted in a lot of back and forth between her and the tech, where the tech kept saying please talk to your doctor, and my mom got more and more upset, eventually shouting but I need it. Which is then when she realized she had handed the tech her empty bottle of alprazolam and not metoprolol. She apologized and was able to get the medicine she needed. But yeah, she probably needed some more alprazolam as well after that.
Something in the water today?
My goodness, people are exceptionally nasty today. In the first hour, I had already been cussed out, called a liar, and got a bad review about how rude I am because someone couldn't get their shot prior to their appointment, because there were other appointments ahead of them. Shocker, like WTF is wrong with people? Also, having idiots question if I'm the pharmacist? Is the white coat not a dead giveaway? I need a vacation because all the psychos are coming out, and the entitlement is too real.
Karen yelled at me in the drive-thru that we need to get our act together.
So today I was manning the drive-thru and a middle-aged woman pulled up to pick up her husband's prescriptions. I tell her I have one ready and she immediately goes, no, there should be another one ready. I called earlier and they said they would have it ready when I got here, and this happens every time, yada yada yada. I was taken aback by how she was talking to me, making it seem like it was my fault. I asked her what medication he needs and she said it's his Lunesta. Shocker. So I apologize and tell her we can get it ready in about 30 minutes. She is still upset and just goes off on me saying that we need to get our act together. This happens all the time. I'm sure you guys have heard it all too. Well, I told her that we are understaffed and very busy and apologized again about the inconvenience. She got pissed because she only has an hour lunch break and she was going out of town after work today. Whatever. Still gonna be 30 minutes, she says. Yeah, well, every place is understaffed, that's no excuse. You guys need to get your act together. If you have too many people trying to get their prescription filled, then you need to turn some people away. Then she drove off. Probably a good thing, BC, I was about to go off on a bitch. Update, it is the next day and the bitch has not picked up her husband's prescriptions. Typical.
The audacity.
I got a call today from an NP student looking for information for a final project. They needed to compare the cash prices of different pharmacies for the brand and generic of a medication. My pharmacy is running an ancient software system, so we don't have the ability to run dummy claims. So to get a price we would have had to make a profile for her and run both the brand and generic as real claims through our discount card. There is a processing fee, albeit less than GoodRx, for a prescription that doesn't exist. Also, our cash prices are basically the same as GoodRx, just a few cents, maybe $1, less depending on what it is. Good enough for getting a ballpark idea of the price without paying the fee. I explained that I don't have the ability to run dummy claims, and before I could even tell her to check GoodRx for the price, she cuts me off and said, I know you can and you just don't want to, but whatever. Excuse me. But you called me trying to get me to help you and you're going to be rude. Even if I had the time and ability to help you, I'm definitely not now. We get enough rudeness for customers without future practitioners adding to the problem. I just told her that not all pharmacies use the same system and hung up. I wish I'd been more clever, but I was too angry and shocked in the moment.
Herbal doctors.
Just pissed me off to the point that I believe in slapping sense into people. So my customer's husband is diabetic and had his toe cut off. Why? Because he's an irresponsible diabetic moron, very careless with his condition and just plain ignorant. He was put on antibiotics and told how to care for it. Does he do it? No. What happens? It causes inflammation in the area. Do they go back to the doctor when it gets complicated? A double nope. So what do? They do the best thing, go with someone who knows the original form of medicine. A master of the art. The ones we know in my country as bush doctors. He decides to apply some dumb crap onto the guy's foot and it gets even more infected and tells him to use paracetamol, acetaminophen. Yes, the almighty master of herbs, who doesn't believe in nothing but the greenery growing outside his house, is recommending medication. A synthetic, man-made drug. Yes, you read that right. He's been seeing them for a little over a month now. A fucking month. And she has the nerve to tell me the bush doctor knows what he's doing and the treatment is working. The man has been in pain for so long, and your brilliant idea is to listen to someone who doesn't have a real title of doctor. I'm telling her to take the man to the doctor or it's going to get worse, and she decides to justify the treatment. I tell her to take him to the doctor 2 times before I lose my cool. I tell her I don't want to hear about that bush doctor or your opinion. The thing you need to know is if you don't listen to me, he's going to lose that foot or worse, he's dead. If I had a reason to say I hate Mondays, this would be one.
Is popping up to say cuckoo.
Guys, I literally burst out laughing with this one. So a customer, C, came in with a bad toothache. She's asking for cataflum, diclofenac, and wants about 15. It's fine because we do sell certain schedule medication OTC, a perk in our country. I prepare it and then she shows me a paper with, drum roll please, ta-da-da-da-ah, ivermectin. C, which is stronger? Cataflum or ivermectin? Me and my assistant, what? C, between the two which is better for toothache? Me, that's not for pain. C, what's it for? Me? Parasites. C, what? My friend recommended this. My assistant, what did they tell you it was for? C, she said it's an antibiotic for tooth infections. Are you sure it's for parasites? Why would she say that? Me, maybe she's cuckoo in her head or incompetent in life. Yes, I told her that. With confidence. C, wow. Thank you for letting me know. I'll take the cataflum please.